Coming to you from the 91 Sports Network studio, Western New England's voice for sports. Your host, Marquez Lopez.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 91 Sports Network show, your weekly New England sports reset destination. As always, I'm your host, Marquez, and this week we've got the Red Sox riding the ship. We have postseason basketball and hockey for the Celtics and Bruins, and the Patriots and Mike Vrabel are 10 days away from the NFL draft. Let's start with the Red Sox. So the Red Sox win 2 straight series. Now, they weren't sweeps, and we're still under 500, but that's 2 series wins, man. And right now that matters because this team is not in a position to dominate. They're not trying to dominate. They're trying to stabilize. They're trying to find footing, you know? And when you're climbing back from 500 in a 162-game season, this is what it looks like. All right? It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. The Major League Baseball season is a grind. Now, last week they go 4-2, 2 series wins, and for the first time, honestly, it felt like you saw something a little more real, right? Glimpses as to what this Red Sox team was supposed to be. This looked more sustainable. And to no surprise, it started with pitching. It started with Ranger Suarez. Okay, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts. He limited traffic on the base path. He was smooth. Then it was Brian Bayo. He pitched 6 2/3. He wasn't dominant. He had a lot of base runners, but he controlled the game. Listen, that's progress if you ask me. That's exactly what this team needed. Because the rotation, truthfully, was supposed to be the identity of the Boston Red Sox. That's all you heard all offseason. Oh, look at all the arms they have. What are they going to do? Look at all the arms they have. And it took no more than 3 weeks to make us panic into thinking we have a pitching shortage. It's wild how much can change in such a quick turnover, right? I mean, because right now the Red Sox are starting to look like themselves, starting to look like the team that we expected them to be, starting to look like the rotation that we expected them to have. I'm happy about that. You can't not be happy about that. Now the offense, though, it's still missing something, and we have to be honest about that. The offense is missing that impact player. It's missing that star. You know, and Roman Anthony, the guy who was the heir apparent, the savior, he's just not it right now. He's lost. And I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody knows what it is. I'm not sure Roman knows what it is. But he's lost. And that doesn't mean long term. But right now, at the top of the order, him being lost is impacting games. You're supposed to start the game off right. He's not doing it. And then there's a Caleb Durbin situation at the top of the order. I love Alex Cora, but I honestly don't get this one. I don't get this one at all. You've got a guy with limited production, very little extra base impact. I think he has 1 extra base hit all season. Okay, he's not going to hit the ball far. He's not going to drive in runs. And aside from maybe a game or 2 ago, he really wasn't getting on base by walk. And he's hitting second? This is a premium spot in the Red Sox lineup. I mean, it is screaming deficiency. The lineup is missing something. When you're having to back Caleb Durbin second at this premium position, you're missing something. Because I don't get it. What is the vision there? What's the vision? Because it's not translating right now. And I'm not sure at any point during the season is anything going to translate with Caleb Durbin hitting second in the lineup. You know, and then you still got some of the little things that the Red Sox are still struggling with, similar to last year, similar to seasons before that. You got defense. You got a Carlos Narvaez catcher's interference again. I bet you never heard that one before. You know, those are the hidden mistakes. Things like this, they extend innings. They cost you outs. And those 2 things don't add up to anything good. You know, but here's where things are starting to shift and some things that I'm positive about. Or a person that I'm positive about, I should say. Willson Contreras. How are you not having fun watching this guy play baseball? Right? It's like we're begging for somebody to take the steering wheel and say, this is my team. And Willson Contreras is the only one doing that. Because right now, this team feels different with him. And it's not just the numbers. And trust me, he's doing that too. And if you're watching the games, you know he's doing that. But it's the presence. You know, since that moment he got hit again against Milwaukee for the 24th time I mean, from that moment where he puffs his chest and speaks up and threatens to take someone out next time he gets hit, I mean, that's showing some edge. That's the edge that the Red Sox have been missing. Since then, this team has a different energy. It's entirely different. And listen, Contreras is not just all bark. He's not just barking. This guy's biting. This guy's playing fantastic baseball. All around, too. He's got clutch hits, extra base hits, big moments, and he's playing defense. If you saw that pick play on that throw from Meyer, I think a game or two ago, in the dirt, that pick play to get him out of that inning, that's winning baseball. Contreras is the best player in the Boston Red Sox right now. But he can't be the only thing. You know, he can't be the only thing. Just like Crochet can't be the only ace, Contreras can't be the only offensive piece. He just can't. And now here's the big picture, right? They're 6-9 coming into this week, and they're only 2 games out of first place. They were 5.5 games out last week. That's baseball, folks. And that's the American League right now. You know, I think only 3 or 4 teams are over 500 in the American League. Now, I could be wrong. I haven't checked it since a couple of days ago, but I believe it's close to that number. Listen, nobody in the American League has it figured out. It's just crazy how these things happen in baseball. 162 games. Everybody's still trying to find their identities. The Red Sox are still in this. It's early. The panic can go away. Let's support this team. They need it. We need it. We need a good summer. And let's face it, a good Red Sox season brings that for us. Okay, now while things are looking better, not all the problems are gone. As we said, offense is still struggling. There's still some of those defensive mistakes, base running mistakes, boneheaded things that are happening. But, the trend, it is starting to shift in the right direction. So we do have to be positive about that. Now, I want to pivot to another idea here for the Boston Red Sox. Because I talked about a potential move last week for Fernando Tatis from the San Diego Padres. Now I'm tabling that. I'm putting that back on the shelf. Okay, and not because the trade package wasn't good. Truthfully, I think it was a great trade package, and not because Tatis wouldn't be a great fit. He'd be fantastic. He's everything that we need. But because the Padres right now, they've got some early season magic. And if you watch your back-to-back walk-offs, doesn't it make you miss Don Orsillo? Doesn't it? He's the best in the game at calling those. Slam Diego. Oh, my God. Listen, the Padres are fun to watch right now. So they've got this early season magic. And teams like that, they don't sell. They don't subtract. So realistically, a trade for Fernando Tatis, at least for right now, that door feels closed. So here's what I'm looking at now, because the Red Sox have to make a move. You know this. I know this. The front office knows this. Major League Baseball knows this. The aliens know this. The Red Sox need to make a move. Who I think they make a move for now? Atlanta Braves third baseman Austin Riley. Okay, hear me out. I think this is a buy low opportunity. He's slumping to start the year. He's coming off of back-to-back injury-affected seasons. But when he's right, this is an MVP-level player. I think he finished in the top 7 MVP voting 3 years in a row. This is an MVP caliber player. 30 home run, 100 RBI, power bat. This is exactly what the Red Sox need. At a premium position, at a corner position where we need power. And I think this can happen. Okay, the Braves still owe this guy a lot of money over the next seven seasons. A lot. But really, when you look at it, the average annual value really is a discount compared to what some of these elite baseball players are getting right now. And make no mistake, Austin Riley has potential to be an elite baseball player when he's healthy. Something like $22 million a year. I know it's crazy to say that, but that's a discount. That's affordable. That's an efficient contract. All right, there's a club option when he turns 36, not 40. This is a great deal, actually. It's a great deal. Okay? So the Red Sox aren't just trading for talent if they trade for Austin Riley. They're trading for value. Now, what does that deal look like? I think this is easy. I think it almost writes itself. It starts with Christian Campbell. Christian Campbell's a Georgia native. Played high school ball in Marietta, went to Georgia Tech, lives in Chattanooga, just minutes from the Georgia border. And Campbell's stuck down in AAA after giving him a a very early extension after he made the opening day roster ahead of Marcelo Meyer and Roman Anthony last year. Still a questionable extension. Don't know why that needed to be rushed. Okay, but he's stuck in AAA. But I think there's some real regional value there for the Braves to bring Campbell in, 23 years old, affordable contract for the next 7 to 8 years, a native. I think he'll rake there. I think Christian Campbell would headline this trade. I don't think you need to let go of anybody on the Major League roster to make this trade happen. I think you could build it out with prospects. Behind Campbell, you're offering Mikey Romero, who's down in AAA. He's raking the ball, man. He's raking the ball, and he's a good infielder. He can play second. He can play third. I think they also add in Jake Bennett, power, big, left-handed, flame-throwing pitcher, who I think he has a sub-1 ERA right now in AAA. Two guys who are really getting the job done just one level below Major League Baseball. And then I think the Braves could have their choice of any other prospect, outside of the top 20 in the Boston Red Sox farm system. But overall, I think a package of 3 or 4 prospects like that can really get this deal done. In order to make a deal, in order to get a team to agree to a deal, a team like the Braves, they have to feel like they won. And this, Campbell, Romero, Bennett, another prospect, I think this feels like a win for them. And listen, if you're the Red Sox and you make that move, this is when things really start to fall into place. You move Caleb Durbin into that utility role, plays a little bit of second, plays a little bit of third, put him at DH. This is where he should be. Okay, Meyer's your shortstop of the future, I should say. Story's there, but I could certainly see Story gone off of this team next year, and Meyer assumes that position, assumes that role. But for now, he's starting at second base. Okay, so that opens up this third base spot full-time for Austin Riley. And you bring that power right-handed bat into this lineup, it's exactly what the Red Sox have been missing. Truly, it's exactly what they've been missing. Exactly what they need. This is a type of move that turns the Red Sox from a team that's trying to figure it out, a team that's on the cusp, into a team that truthfully can compete for a World Series. So John Henry, Craig Breslow, Alex Cora, get this together. Right the ship. Bring in a power bat. Let's take this seriously. And let's be Major League Baseball World Series contenders. Please and thank you. Signed, every New England fan in the region. Now let's shift to the Celtics. They open the playoffs on Sunday at 1 p.m. as the 2 seed against the winner of the Sixers and Magic in the play-in game. And on paper, you feel good, right? I feel really good about the Celtics. But the real conversation beyond the first round, in which you feel good about, is what comes next, because they're truly on a collision course for a second-round matchup with the Knicks. And we've seen how that's gone. We have seen how that has gone. The Knicks eliminated the Celtics from the playoffs last season after Tatum tore his Achilles. The Celtics are 1-3 against the Knicks this season. And that last game at MSG on Thursday, if you watched it, it told you a lot. Jason Tatum in the fourth quarter, not good. He was not good at all. He was not under control. There was too much pressure on him. What do you have, 4 turnovers in the fourth quarter? How many times did he hit the deck? I feel like he was on the floor every time he dribbled the ball past half court. He looked like a high schooler struggling to get by a defender. He looked unbalanced. He looked uncomfortable. The Knicks got to him. They really got to him mentally and physically, truthfully. And yes, Jaylen Brown didn't play, right? That's the elephant in the room. But you know what? That proves a point. That proves the point that I've been saying all season long. At least for the last 12 weeks. That the Celtics can win without Tatum. They've done it. But they will not and cannot win a championship without Jaylen Brown. They can't. Tatum is not it. He is not the guy this year for that. And I got to give credit. Baylor Shireman, he kept the Celtics in that game against the Knicks. Perfect in the fourth behind the arc. Knocked down some huge shots. Some quick pull-up shots. Shots 5-6 feet behind the arc. Listen, having guys who can shoot like that matters for depth. And it's going to help them along the way. But depth alone doesn't win championships. Not in the NBA, no sir. Stars do. And for Boston, that's Jaylen Brown first and Jason Tatum second. Now on to hockey, the Bruins. They did clinch a playoff spot on Saturday despite the loss. That kind of tells you everything about where they are right now. I mean, they came into the week on a 3-game losing streak. They lost the next 2 games, 5-game losing streak, finally win a game at the end, clinch regardless, one of the 2 wildcard positions. Listen, this Bruins team's good. They're okay. They're good in what some are saying is a loaded Eastern Conference. But this isn't a scary team. They're not controlling outcomes right now. They're not pressing. I don't think this is a team that anybody is afraid to play. And the biggest issue has been consistent. They don't win on the road. They're basically a 500 team on the road. They have 16 wins on the road this season, 9 overtimes. Okay? And listen, in the playoffs, that's a problem. Because if you're going to win a series, you're going to have to steal one on the road. You know what I mean? You're going to have to. And the Bruins don't often do that. But at home, they're elite. At home, they're a different team. They create pressure. They shoot well. They defend well. Great goaltending from Swayman almost all year. But if you even lose one game at home if you're the Bruins, you have no margin for error because you can't win on the road. You'd be asking yourself to do something you haven't done consistently all season. Okay? And typically, in the Stanley Cup playoffs, the hockey teams with the best goaltending win. And Swayman has been great. He's been great since coming back from the Olympics. Swayman's had a great year. Night and day from last season. Swayman could play well. He could very well be one of the best goalies in the entire postseason. But is this team good enough behind him? I'm not sure. I'm not sure they have that it factor, but we're going to see very shortly. Now on to the Patriots. Mike Vrabel is not speaking to the media. And if you've been online, been on Twitter, listened to the radio, maybe you know what's going on. If you don't, I'll tell you. Mike Vrabel was spotted, actually on leaked pictures, with Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini, who is a reporter. And they were getting cozy, holding hands, hugging, poolside together at this adult-only fancy resort that people like them have money to go to. But it's not a good look for Mike Vrabel, who's married. It's not a good look for Diana Rossini, who's married. I get it. It's not a good look. And it's a tough thing to really handle, especially, in the professional landscape, at work. When things like this happen, you have shit to deal with at home. But not everybody is the head coach of the New England Patriots. Not everybody just went to the Super Bowl last season. So Mike Vrabel not addressing the media today at the Patriots' final pre-draft league meetings with the media, I don't like it. Man, just address it. Chris Curtis said it today in the morning on WEEI. Just rip the Band-Aid off, and I couldn't agree more. Because if you don't, the questions don't go away. Just because you don't show up to these league meetings doesn't make this go away. They just shift. Now ownership has to answer these questions. The Crafts. Now the front office has to answer these questions. Elliot Wolf? And other players have to answer it. I mean, it's just a matter of time before people start asking Drake May, before people start asking draft prospects. And that's not where you want the focus, right? Especially with the draft out coming up. We're just 10 days out. 10 days out from the draft. And the head coach of the reigning AFC champion New England Patriot team is avoiding the media. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But anyways, a little teaser for you all. Next Monday, the 91 Sports Network will be on the road. So it'll be a little bit of a different show. Actually, it's going to be a special show. And that's what we're calling it, the mock draft special. It'll be the Monday before the NFL draft. You're not going to want to miss that one. Accompanying that episode will be my mock draft posted for the entire first round of the NFL draft. Now, as we close out the show, let's move on to the week ahead. Beginning with the Boston Red Sox, they start the week 6 and 9. They open up a 3-game road series against the AL Central leading Twins tonight, which is a real test. It's a first-place team on the road. It's a team in the American League who is above 500. This is going to be a great series, and I think we're getting Joe Ryan. After that, they come home for a 4-game set against the Detroit Tigers. Personally, I think that's where you make a move if you're the Boston Red Sox, and that's where we're going to rattle some wins. I also think we have a very good shot at winning this series against the Twins, too. I think we have momentum on our side. So I'm calling these next 7 games 5-2 over the week for the Boston Red Sox. This gets them back to 500 even at 11-11 before they open up division play next Tuesday at home against the New York Yankees. Now, the Celtics playoff begins on Sunday, April 19th at 1 p.m. on ABC. They will face the winner of the 7 versus 8 seed play-in game between the Sixers and Magic on Wednesday. In the regular season, the Celtics are 2-2 versus the 76ers and 3-1 versus the Magic. And the Bruins have their regular season finale Tuesday at home against the New Jersey Devils. And then they'll open up the Stanley Cup playoffs next weekend, likely April 18th or 19th on the road. Official date has not been announced. And lastly, the Patriots, I'm sure, are finalizing their draft boards just 10 days out from the NFL draft. There are a ton of needs that the Patriots need to fill. You're going to want to keep an eye on Twitter, keep an eye on the news. You'll get a little bit of insight into who the Patriots may be targeting. And then, of course, you're going to want to tune in next Monday for my mock draft special, where I will mock my draft picks to the New England Patriots and for the rest of the NFL. And that's it. That's a wrap on another episode of the 91 Sports Network show. This was your New England Sports Reset. I'm Marquez, and this is the 91 Sports Network. 91 out.